this is Amit Kumar. I'm back with my new project which I have done for Squid Game. This is my idea to create a creature-based boss for Squid Game Season 2. So let's see, I will show you the whole procedure from scratch to end. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to talk about my project which I have done for a Squid Game. Okay, so let's start. Inside of recreating characters of Squid Game, okay, I'm going to talk about how I create this character, how I create the main boss character in my style. I would love to create any kind of main or famous character in creature style. So I will show you the breakdown, how I create the characters, armor, cloth, and every kind of stuff. Okay, so in short you can say I'm recreating a iconic scene. So let's see, this is my character. Okay, so I design a creature for boss in my style. So as you can see, according to these two images, the differences. Okay, in previous season you can see the main boss was something like this. Even his suit and gloves are very different. So I created in my version, which is this, which is a creature, and the suit is also created from nano object. So we will discuss later. These are the few topics which I'm going to cover during this project, or you can say the miniature version of my lecture. So gathering reference and plan it out. So what kind of images I was using during this whole process or for my idea, so I will show you. Then after that, starting with base mesh along with UV. Okay, so I will show you how I took a polish sphere, then sculpted to the detailed main version of creature face. Then after that, creature cloth, then creature mask. After that, the very iconic, the pink suit soldier, then that soldier's mask, suit, and then gun. And after that, iconic interior which we already seen in season 1, where the main hall where the all inmates were kept. So after that, adding more layer of detail where I will talk about the polypaint, lighting, and finalization. Okay, so let's start for the reference part. Okay, I use very few of images for reference, which I am going to share with you. This is my very first image, which is for face, just for the anatomy and for proportion. So after that, this one is for definitely the soldier suit and the full how that character look like and what kind of changes I can do. Okay, and how can I modify in a very simple way, not very the messy object with the strap and all everything. I wanted to be very low poly, okay, and very simple, so everyone can do. So after that, see, this was the iconic interior scene which I'm talking about. I will share you the whole interior scene, how I make it from modeling to lighting, how I created the fold of that cloth, the pillow thing, everything I will share with you. So after that, see, this is for the basic. If you see this character suit and the previous soldier, the both have different suit. Okay, the both have the previous one having very much of massive detail. This one is very simple, so I chose this, and this one is just for the reference, how what kind of our boss look like, just for the reference, not we are going to copy this. After this, okay, I took this image just for the lighting, then this again for lighting, and this one is also for the lighting. That's it, because I love to work with this kind of object and the lighting, the yellow thing which you can see, but what I created I will show you later. So after reference part, we are going to talk about the software. Okay, and I'm going to show you my base version, how I transform that base, a basic sphere, polysphere, to our main character. So let's move to the software. So here we go. I took a polysphere, as you can see. Then after that I'm start for the rest of stuff. So I always go for a basic shape for every object or prop. So for face, because this is not a human kind of face, it is a very, creature have not that kind of structure which what we have, right? The jawline and a scalp and all. Okay, so for the rough idea, I just take a basic shape, then extract a extra geometry for neck. Then after that I will move for the shoulder area. Then for shoulder, as you can see, this is the very raster kind of extraction. Then after that I will go for the high poly, which will be going for higher subdivision level. So after that I will go for the subdivision level again. Then I will play the subdivision level higher and lower also. Then I always make sure that my model will look very close to my main reference or object which I am going to create, or which I want to create on a very lower subdivision. If on my lower subdivision, if my character look very good in a shape, then I will move to the higher subdivision. But before that I will always play with the subdivision 1 and 2. Okay, once I got the final proportion or final object, like I'm very satisfied that okay, this is my final face or final sculpt. Then for detail I will move for the subdivision, higher subdivision. So for now I will go for a lower subdivision. So for now, as you can see, I'm working in subdivision 1, 2, and very after a long time I will move for the subdivision level 3. But before that I will used to play around subdivision 1 and 2. So for now I was sculpting very rough volume for chest, shoulder, and of top area of the shoulder and the neck, head and all, as you can see. Then after that I will move for the higher subdivision level, and as you can see, the face area having higher subdivision than the lower body part, the shoulder area, the neck area, the collarbone area. Okay, because I use lots of smooth thing on the face area, so because of that my model have polys extraction. So after that, if you see, I need to go for the retopology for my model for better topology, because for now I have lots of triangle and the open poly. So after retopology I will export this model to Maya, and then I will unwrap. Then after unwrap, the unwrapped version of low poly model, I will export it to ZBrush again. Okay, so when I will import to ZBrush for the further detail, then see, the very beneficial part of that pipeline is your base model, the base version of your model is already unwrapped. Okay, so you don't have to bit worry about like after detail or after the alpha and all, how will we go unwrap and how will go for the retopology, because once your model is unwrapped, you don't need to think about retopology or the unwrapping portion or the XYZ axis. So for now, and even I love for the lower version of model, which is already unwrap in your Max or Maya, whatever you are using, and the lower version of, or low poly, as we can say, LOD 100 version of Maya, you can export it for ZBrush as a OBJ version. and then import it to ZBrush, and then you are quite tension free, like okay, your model is already unwrapped. Now what you have to do, just go for the detail and massive detail as you can go, and use for the alpha. Then after you're finishing your whole character, just you need to export your maps, so that will be very convenient. If you notice, I'm working on subdivision level 3, which where I'm I'm very comfort zone. I'm in very comfort zone, like okay, in subdivision level 3 I already got my shoulder area, the neck area, the chest area, the collarbone, the back muscle, very rough kind of structure. Why I'm not working for the back portion? Because the after the suit, our only face and the collarbone area will be visible. Okay, so because of that I was not doing very keen detail in back area. So my focus part is this, just this: the face, neck, collarbone and the upper shoulder. Till now I'm very happy with my base mesh. Then after that I was moving for my face, the eyes, and one more thing, my this character don't have ear according to my own concept, but I created a rough very minimalistic kind of ear, just to show that okay, that this creature have ear kind of stuff. That just for that thing. I was creating a modified jawline. If you notice, it was getting very rasterized kind of. Then the lower jaw. Okay, for I was putting a basic sphere for eye, just for the eye reference. And okay, one more thing I need to talk about: my character eyes was closed. If you seen in my final render or my final images, this creature eyes was closed. Okay, so for reference I was just using a basic sphere, just for the reference, like okay, I need to put my eyelashes over here, and according to that sphere, how my closed eyes look like, because this character, I even before this sculpt I was trying for according to my sketch, I was trying for open eyes, but this character was looking very very keen and very realistic with the closed eyes. So I decided to put this character this kind of, the same thing which you was seen in my final render. Because once I decided okay, I don't need to open his eyes according to my concept, so I kept it the same way. For the teeth, the basic structure created for the gum area where tooth will be placed. So where I was starting from a sphere, but now where I am, as you can see, I personally don't prefer the base mesh for human face or any kind of creature. Like if you notice, the Pixologic provide a basic version of model where you can use your modification and create new stuff. So I personally prefer to put a polish sphere, then after move scratch to your final concept. Okay, see, here I exported my OBJ version, very low version of that sculpt, to the unwrap which I was talking about previously. So after unwrap, I will export this model for ZBrush, and then I will move for the massive detail and alpha and all. So this is my final this is my basic version of my main creature, which I using Maya for unwrapping. Definitely I'm using just a very basic version of unwrapping to save my time, because you need to, you have to work on lots of stuff after this character also. See, here I am going to publish my low poly models unwrapping on my high details model using projection option, project all, as you can see. So my unwrap version of model, or you can say the unwrapping of the low poly model, which I have used from Maya, which you can see just unwrapped, that unwrapped version of model projected to the higher model. So see the the beneficial part of this option, what you have done previously in ZBrush before unwrapping, that model was not unwrapped, but when you project your unwrapped model, the detail version of model have unwrapped feature after projection. Don't get confused for this. If you have queries, then you can text me, so I will bring a new content on especially for projection option. So here I go for the teeth. I was using Maya for basic mesh, and I will unwrap. Then the same process, unwrap in Maya, exported in OBJ, imported in ZBrush, and then for the further detail or polypaint. Sculpting is always my favorite part, but to be very honest, this UV portion is bit boring than sculpting, because it's on your interest. So here our tooth is. Now I need to split this tooth into different layer, then place it according to our character. See, I split it to similar parts. Now I will place this tooth according to characters, jaw, and the placing are very different according to our character. I know for now it's seems really actually kind of bit funny for now, like how I'm doing and how I'm adjusting the rest of mesh according to the tooth, but this is what you have to do. So in a very my old or very first or second lecture of ZBrush, I used to talk about the basic the tools and all, like how we start our sculpt, how to use Z add, Z subtract, how to extract, how to use masking and all, how to use hair and all, and how to use alpha, how to export the map, how to render. This all topics I was already discussed in previous lecture. So for now I'm expecting from you that whatever I'm doing is very clear for you, because you have done with your previous topics. Because if you unfamiliar with these topics, and in short, if you're very unfamiliar with your this software, then definitely this thing will very bouncer for you. So if you work for the previous lecture, or if you already know how to use ZBrush and all, then this will be very helpful for you. So after placing the tooth, every tooth, I was created the additional part of gum area and according to jaw line. So where I'm going to or where right now where I was sculpting, from this area, this whole face are go for the unsymmetry part, because if you notice the from upper part to the head, whole face are very symmetry, but the from lower jaw to the neck in the this kind of area very unsymmetric, if you see. And from now this area is also go for unsymmetric version. My what I'm trying to say, my right cheekbone are different, my left cheekbone are different according to this character. So now from now geometries are different from previous where we was started. Now if I have to go for alpha, then I need to put or turn off my symmetry option. So and one more important part, if your model or if your object are very unsymmetry, then you need to turn off your symmetry option. So you have to work very, specifically on a very specific area. This is my very first project where I was sculpted a closed eye character, because before this whatever I was sculpted or model or human or any kind of creature, the eyes was open, or even including animal, eyes was open. So that was very different perspective. But for now I'm sculpting a closed eye character, so this is very new, kind of experience for me also. So putting few clay for minor muscles of face. On forehead area. So this is how my face look like on a basic scale. Even still I am on subdivision level 3. So move for the next part. The basic, just for the reference, I tested a cloth in using N cloth in Maya. So I export my model, basic version of my face, which I was using for the unwrapping for in Maya to simulate my cloth. So just to show how my chest look like after the cloth simulation, or how my model look like after the cloth simulation, as I said, it's a very test kind of cloth. Okay, like how my model look like, just for the idea. So I was using this N cloth option. So I will export this model to ZBrush to see like what kind of, like how much area I need to sculpt in a detail, like what kind of area go for the behind cloth. So for that I was exporting this cloth. See, now I will export this OBJ version and import it to ZBrush. Now you will see how I use this in that software. See, this is how my basic version of face look like without alpha and after the cloth. See this the area, the emboss area, which I was talking about. Okay, the see, the bump kind of cloth, sorry, the chest and the shoulder and the back. After the modification, this will be changed. So for the check, so after this thing I will show you what kind of, or how I was using my alpha on my face. So okay, so let's move for the alpha. Okay, see, what kind of alpha I was using and how I was using my alpha thing to see. As previously I was discussed, the closed eye was looking very pretty than open eyes according to me, even for this creature. So definitely putting alpha is a very time taken thing. So I will show you in a short version how my character look like after alpha. This is my final version of the main boss character in a creature version, which I am created, and I'm showing you the breakdown. So after the cloth, as I said, the demo version of the basic cloth for the idea, like how much area will be visible. Okay, after that I'm putting lots of alpha, the different kind of alpha. So after that, how my character look like. See, as I discussed in a very previous session, that the ear was not important for this character, so it's a very rough version of ear, just to show. So as you can see, the alpha of the face, which is very massive, and as I told you, the closed eyes with alpha is looking much prettier than the open eyes, even with this character. Okay, so for the forehead and every perspective, you can see the amount of alpha I was using. Okay, so I hope you will like this project. So after this, we have to move forward because we already finished our creature face. Now we will have to go for the creature cloth. Okay, very base version of cloth, a model which I was using for my creature's suit, my main boss suit. So as you can see, this is a very base version of model, a very basic, without any wrinkle and the detail of cloth. So I will simulating this cloth, this basic model, to the my own this creature body. If you can see, while I was simulating this model will taking shape of the wrinkle towards the legs, towards the shoulder, according to the knee, according to the elbow, according to the the collarbone and all. If you can see, this is kind of getting the shape of jumpsuit or dungaree kind of the cloth. So but I was testing the few more cloth, and once I'm getting very satisfied with, like that okay, I'm very happy with this kind of this stage of cloth, then I will export it for the ZBrush. So see, now I'm getting the hoodie kind of object, so which is actually very nice. It seems really nice. So from foreview, this is how this basic version of cloth look like. So in Maya, I will simulate the basic version of cloth, then I will export it to export for ZBrush OBJ version, then I will use Nanomesh for micro detail. So for now, I'm not quite happy with this object, so this version of cloth. So I will test. I even I love to play the value of objects, the value of the options we have given by our 3D software. So I will copy this our main cloth, the unsimulated version, this one, and then simulate to the multiple times. Then I will select key, okay, I have to go with this version of simulation. And if you see, if hoodie was on, then how it look like, and if hoodie was off, then the on and off thing, how our character look like. This is the version 1 kind of, which I was just a second. See, I have to mention one thing. As previously I was kept talking about the ear thing, that ear was not visible according to the hoodie option. So that's why I was not I didn't did very massive detail on ear. See, as you can see, right, because of hoodie, ear was definitely not visible at any perspective. Even the because of the, and why I created the short, the short kind of ear, because that the short version of ear, that's a very short structure. Because of that very small structure, our hoodie taking the shape of a ear. If you notice the very, minimum changes, which is, the making our cloth very more realistic. I need to fix the, the cloth area which is penetrating through the collarbone and chest. I need to fix this in ZBrush while I will do for the Nanomesh. And I will copy 4, 5 or multiple version, and the each version I will, I will look for the best version of hoodie, best version of the, the lower portion of the wrinkle which you are getting, along with the shoes around your knees and even around your foot also. Even after this, after finishing this suit for the main boss, I will use this version of suit also for the soldier suit, the pink soldier, because we are getting the same thing. I hope you are getting my point. As you can see, this character have gloves and shoes, so I will show you the shoes area also, how I made it. It's a very basic version of shoes, not even single amount of detail, because shoes was very basic. If you notice the main character, even the season 1, uh, you can notice the shoes is very, the basic shoes, not kind of very massive laces and very detailed. So even I used to work on a very basic shoes, because I was working on the suit, character, creature, and the armor and background. See, these are the multiple version of suit which I was simulated using N cloth, and the one version which I was, love to work for the detail. Now I am going to, copy the main object to all the suit, and to check the how all the suit look like along with our character. And one more important thing, I'm not going to show you the body part, the whole body part, including legs and hand and the pelvis area, like how it model, and because I was using just for a very basic, like I showed you, the basic version of cloth which I simulated for the wrinkle. At this, and according to the same concept, I was using very basic version of body shape just for the simulation of cloth, because main focus area is your face, gloves, and shoes, and your suit. So the body behind your suit, I didn't do any detail on that, so because of that I was not showing you. As you can see the wireframe, the upper body portion was very high detail. See, along with the character face, along with the body, how it looked like from behind, from the front portion, and how the wrinkle form. Every suit have different wrinkle, even around knees, around shoulder, around neck, around the shoes. So I hope my this concept, like this is the main process which I was using for the cloth, and this will helpful for you for your future project or any your any future model, like how you were going to create your cloth, even how I use the end cloth I discussed in previous lecture also. The character don't have hoodie, the first one, this one, the selected one, I love the most because this suit have most wrinkle from the rest of suit, but unfortunately I have to go with the hoodie on option because the according to our character or according to our scene the hoodie was on. If you remember, the creature face I was taken from the movie called Wrong Turn, one, part 2, part 3. If you have seen the Wrong Turn movie, then you will remember the my face of my character similar to that creature from Wrong Turn. So this is how I made my shoes for my character or creature, both of them. So suit was already done and creature was already done. So after that I moved to a shoes portion which was unfinished. So for shoes I just took very basic plain in a very low poly base, and then after that I was using the detail in inserting the edge loops, and as you can see I'm making very as much as you can say the very basic version of model, because shoes okay see because shoes have, just a second, yeah, I was getting confused between shoes and the boot, sorry. It was definitely it's a shoes because the way I was the started towards plain, it was getting look like boots, but definitely sorry for that, it's a shoes. So this is how it looked like and this is how I made. See, it's a very basic version of shoes. Then after that I need to fix this shoes mess according to or alignment of these shoes according to the cloth area which is penetrating through the shoes edge, so the ankle area. You can see that is, see, I was talking about this area, the ankle area was penetrating through the cloth, so I need to fix those vertex. See, as I said, this is the very the minimum level of poly or detail. As you can see, I'm not going in a high poly, I'm not going on a very with the less kind of object, or I'm not putting any less, I'm not putting any crease. One as usual, as I kept saying from my you can see the any of my lecture or any of my project. As I kept saying, once I'm done with my basic shape, then I will instantly move to the the higher detail. See, now this is the very visible what I was talking about, the cloth area which is penetrating through the shoes ankle area. I need to fix those specific vertex, so this should look more realistic. Even the both leg have different stage of penetration, so you need to fix those all in a very specific way. And to fix those vertices, I was using sculpt geometry option. See, this is my shoes after finalization. Okay, this is how it looked like. It's a very basic, nothing more massive thing. So after placing of shoes and suit, I will export this entire thing, especially the suit, to ZBrush for the Nanomesh thing, so I can create the very minimum or very minor detail which you was which you seen in my final render. I hope whatever you have seen in my final render, your question, queries, or your concept will be clear throughout this whole demo. So I'm done with my Maya version of basic version of my cloth, my shoes. Now I will show you the further part of ZBrush. Is what my cloth look like after my Nanomesh. As you can see, the fold and the wrinkle, everything. See, I created a split design. I will show you. See this, the very minimum or very organic kind of texture which you have find in jute kind of structure, jute kind of material. See, the every wrinkle have the same texture, and even I created a very, the small amount of detail, very minor detail on this shoulder area. As you can see, there is a very split portion of Nanomesh. So this will enhance my character. I will show you the final version when I will open after this. So see how it look like from behind, even the including this bump, the fold and all. And now you can see the eardrop. Because of ear, what we got. So this is what I created in ZBrush, and what I am, like what I have done with the basic version of Maya, which I have created, which I have shown you previously. Okay. I hope you like this version of suit, the main boss. Okay, so we have done with our creature, cloth, suit. Now move to the soldier mask. Okay, the soldier mask, suit and gun. We will discuss about these 3 points. I use this version of base model from Maya, and how I created for high detail for ZBrush, how I exported this in OBJ version and then imported to ZBrush, and then I go for the further detail, which is this using Nanomesh. See, this is the very keen detail. As you can see, the mask of the soldier. Okay, so after this, as I said previously, for suit I use the previous suit which I have shown you during the creature suit, the basic version. I will show you my character look like after each and every object or asset applying on my soldier. You can see the mask, you can see the body base, and you can see the very basic suit, gloves and shoes, which I have just shown you. So see, this is the soldier, and I will show you the gun portion after the gun. File. Okay, so still opening. Yes, see, as you can see, I was using N cloth. So this is my character looking with the gun, and how I created gun I can't show you because that is the very long process for the entire model of this assault gun. So I am showing you the position and the suit, how it look like. Okay, so I hope you are very clear with how I created this stuff. After gathering reference and after starting with base mesh, after creature face, cloth, soldier mask, soldier suit, gun and position, now we have to talk about iconic interior, which is our main background. So come to the software. So okay, I will show you the initial stage of background. This was my initial stage of background, very base, where my stage should be, where the door will be, where the stair, where the things will be placed. So after this, okay, this is what I have got. Okay, so yeah, this is what I did for my entire interior. As you can see, the sleeping area of the inmates and the, I'm showing the inmates, sorry, it was the for player. Yeah, just a second. Okay, now you can see this is the bed area and the cloth and fold and all. I will show you the how I create this cloth also. Pillow are missing, sorry. So this is my interior. Now I'm going to show you how my cloth, this cloth I'm talking about, this, how this one is created, this kind of folding wrinkle and all. Okay, so come to the, and even I hope you will like my basic initial interior also, because this was the from season 1, if you can see. So move to the, and more important thing, I did, according to me, I am trying to, you know, match as much as I can, so I did. So I hope you like this. So after this I will move to the cloth area. So I'm using N cloth for the cloth for the bed sheet, and to the fold of bed sheet I'm using a quite animation with the help of N cloth, with the help of, just a second, yes, point to surface object, which I have done with the sphere. As you can see, the blue manipulator or options or the dot, you can, whatever you can see. So see, I have tested with the 4 or 5 or multiple kind of folds, and I was, you know, the looking for the best option which I am looking for my background, like what is the best suit for my background. So I did this 4 or 5 tests for the better result. So see, with the help of N cloth I created the suit, I created the cloth base, even I created the bed sheet. So even in the previous session I also show you the area where I was using this N cloth, right? We have to use our brushes and alphas and colorization option or the RGB opacity and all, intensity and all, right? Because we already discussed in lots of previous lecture. So this is how I was working with the polypaint, and I'm going to, in a very short, you know, the glimpse of my polypaint, like how I did and what my final output will look like after polypaint. Okay. My character look like after entire color and all, polypaint and all. Okay, so see, as I was talking about the shoulder detail, this gapping, the you know, the poly area, the brick design, brick kind of design which I have created. Because of that, the shoulder is looking more, you know, the very attractive. And as you can see, my poly paint and the face detail after the whole color thing, see, after the alpha and all, even sorry to say, I was just you know, the skip the very one thing, which is the, I have added few screw over here, if you can see. Okay, so this is how my character look like after the alpha and after the color and all. So I will show you the final render of this creature, which is the boss of the Squid Game. So I will show you the final render. Okay, so come to the render. Quit. Now yes, it is. I have, as you can see, my desktop is very messy, but for just for this project. Output, I will show you my very basic lighting which I did in the previous project also. Just 1 2 3, that's it. This one is the from this direction, and this one is from top, and this one is from very front. Okay, intensity will be very different from all three of light. Okay, so this is the very basic version of my light, and for render I use 7K resolution, sorry 8K resolution. So I will switch to the final render. So we are already done with all the topics, and I hope I'm able to clear your doubt and express my project. So till lighting we are finished. Now come to finalization. Okay, for this first I will show you how what was my camera. Okay, I put two camera which was this, and yeah, this is my first camera, and just for the idea I place few objects just for the idea, because I need to export this camera in FVX format to Keyshot, because I render this project in Keyshot. So this was my first camera, and this is my second camera, which is this. And even I put few multiple camera, but these two camera have the animation. So just for that I was showing you these two camera, which you have seen in very first of this project, the final render. Now come to the my most favorite point, which is my final output. Definitely if you're working with any project, then you will love to see or talk about your final output, right? So come to the object. Okay, this is what my character look like after render. Okay, so yeah, so this is what my character, sorry I was talking about the render. This is what my character look like after polypaint. Okay, so after that I need to go for the render, right? So this is my mesh view. This is my mesh view. As you can see, my each and every detail of alpha and everything, which is very much 100% visible, because of my that three light which I have shown you previously, just for I guess 10 minutes earlier. So see, this is my mesh view. After this is my Z depth render, as you can see. So after this is my color view render, and after this I took this same model for the lighting. As you can see the difference between these two render. This is the very dim, and this is the very sunlight kind of light from the front, and this is my final render. But I want to show you about my very final render, the beauty of black. This is my very this I can say this is the stealing my heart, that kind of render. This is the in a pure black. This is I'm flattered according to this render. I'm very much in love with this render, that much I love. How can I say, this is very impressive. Even I can't imagine that the pixel or the cubic design of this cloth, the nano texture will enhance or will show the each and every shell very clearly. So because of that I love this render. So come to the final render, which is this. which you have already seen in the beginning of this project. So see the screw which I was talking about, this was the screw which I was talking about, which I guess I'm not shown you in the process. So this is the steel. So as you can see, this is my final output of the project, and this is the my version of main boss from Squid Game, which is a creature and concept taken from Wrong Turn creature. So this is not exactly from Wrong Turn, but the rough kind of idea. So I hope you're gonna like this project. So this is the end of my project or my short version of lecture. Okay, so finally we already finished our character, right? Whole process and everything, the project and all. This will help you to learn more creative stuff about ZBrush and Maya, and including Keyshot. So, and one more important thing, this is the last lecture and last project which I have done for 2021. So we will meet you in new year with new project. So for now, I'm very big thankful to everyone who's watching my video. I'm getting lots of text through my Instagram, so I definitely I will try to reach everyone. So for now, Happy New Year and Merry Christmas. And most important thing I want to say, this is the kind of fan art which I have created for Squid Game 2. Okay, so because I personally love to create creature for movies and game, so this was my thought to create a creature kind of boss for Squid Game 2. This is my thought. So I created this bit of a concept. So I hope you will like it. So thank you and keep supporting me.